Hi, friends. Welcome to your mat today. I'm Val, and today what I've got for you is flow for the Gemini full moon that's happening on Sunday, December 15th, 2024. Now, if you're watching this in 2025 or a different year, that's totally fine. We're just working with the energy of Gemini on the mat today. We'll be utilizing different tools to really help us ground into the present moment. Gemini is a sign that is really home in the head and home in the mind. So, what we'd like to do when we're on the mat and when we're trying to work with this energy to really embody it as best as possible is to really get out of the mind and into the body. And we'll be doing that through a breathing technique of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, and through the Gyan Mudra. Gyan Mudra is where you touch the tips of the thumb and the pointer finger as the other three fingers draw outwards, the palms rest upwards. So this mudra is a really beautiful hand gesture to call in clarity and concentration of the mind. So we'll be helping to really gather ourselves in this space where we can feel present and with ourselves while we move through a flow pretty quickly. We'll be harnessing that Gemini energy as it is an air sign. So air signs tend to move more faster and are quick-witted. So what you'll need today is yourself, a mat. If you like extra cushion underneath your knees, you can have a blanket underneath your knees. If you know you like to practice with blocks, go ahead and grab that and any other props that you know you like on the mat. We'll get started in just a moment, but I just wanted to point out that I have an astrological alignment course. I'll tag in the comments below. It is a course that will guide you through the zodiac signs, so from Aries to Pisces, and each sign will have different practices that will help you harness the energy of that zodiac sign. So it will take you into different yoga postures. It'll take you into a different meditation for each sign, hand gestures, the mudras to embody that energy. And it'll also give you an idea of the key characteristics and traits that each sign holds and embodies. If that's something that you're interested in, again, I'll tag that below so you can go ahead and find that course and take yourself through it. Otherwise, be sure to stay tuned for all videos that are yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. Let's get started. All right, my friends. So we're starting today in a comfortable seat of your choice. I'm in Sukhasana with a block underneath my hips to elevate my my hips higher than my knees. You can sit on a blanket. You can sit in a position where your legs are extended, or maybe you're on your knees or shins in like a hero's pose. But anything goes. You want to be able to rest here for a few moments as we go through 5 rounds of Nadi Shodhana. So just get yourself gathered into this space. Let any little wiggles, fidgets out of the body as you start to settle into this moment here and now. And as you settle in, we're going to take 3 clearing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, allow the shoulders to rise up towards the ears. Feel this little bit of tension come into the body. And then as you breathe out, release them away. Open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Relax the shoulders. 1 more in through the nose. Rise the shoulders up. Exhale out through the mouth. Surrender the shoulders down. Seal the lips shut. Prepare your right palm in front of your face. Thumb plugs the right nostril as the ring finger or the pinky finger, your choice, blocks the left nostril. So you can do thumb and pinky, rest your 3 fingers in, or you can do your thumb and your ring finger, let your pinky just stay up, and then your pointer finger and your middle finger come to rest on your third eye. Now, as that right hand is doing the motion for Nadi Shodhana of plugging one side of the nose versus the other, we'll allow the opposite hand, your left hand, to come into Gyan Mudra. So your tip of the index finger and your thumb come to connect as that palm faces upwards. Your 3 fingers rest away from the body. We'll be using this just stay in your concentrated breath right now, your inhales and your exhales, as I just allow you to understand why we'll be doing this breathing technique, is to bring balance into the mind and into the brain. So we have two different hemispheres of the brain, the left side and the right side. One side is more of our logical side, our analytical side, that side that really is like verbal, versus the opposite side is more intuitive and artistic and emotional. So when we practice Nadi Shodhana, we're bringing balance to our nadis, our channels, which bring energy or prana through the body. So we're working towards finding that balance, finding that equanimity. So just rest here and have that kind of idea in your mind. If one side feels more clogged than the other, just work your way through it. Don't force it. Just maybe embody a little bit of a slower breath on one side versus the other. Just all in all, do your best. Okay. So roll the shoulders up, back and down, sit up nice and tall. Allow the left palm to be in Gyan Mudra, inviting in that sense of clarity and wisdom within the body through this hand gesture, the thumb being the energy of fire, the pointer finger being the energy of air. And then allow the right hand to come in front of the face. Start by plugging the right nostril and breathe in through the left. At the top of that inhale, we'll plug the left nostril, relax the shoulders, and then breathe out through the right nostril. At the bottom of that breath, we'll breathe in through the right nostril. And at the top, plug right nostril. Relax the shoulders, and then release the left nostril, breathe out. Completing one round. Start round 2 by breathing back in through the left nostril. Plug it at the top. Release through the right. Breathe back in through right. Plug the right at the top. Release through the left. I'll guide you through one more round. Breathe in through the left. Plug it at the top. Relax the shoulders. Reach through the crown. Release the right nostril. Breathe out. Breathe in through the right nostril. Plug the nostril and breathe out through the left. Now complete 2 more rounds on your own. Doing your best to stay upright in the spine. Relaxed in the face. Relaxed in the shoulders. We've got one more round. And on this last round, we finish by breathing out through the left nostril and then releasing the right hand down to breathe in through both nostrils. Allow your right fingers to come into Gyan Mudra. As we breathe in and out through the tips of the nose, we feel that extra sense of balance and clarity in the body and the mind. Just take a moment here to observe. Observing without judgment. And then slowly, as you become more present with the breath, invite it into Ujjayi Pranayama, that victorious breath where we breathe in and out through the tips of the nose and have a soft restriction in the back of the throat. This will bring us clarity and focus as we journey through today's flow. The audible sound of the breath in the back of the throat not only brings that volume for us to hear within our own bodies, within our own mats, but also allows warmth to start to stoke the body, creating heat for us to move with. Allow the hands to come to Anjali Mudra, palms touch, just bowing down gently, taking a moment for your practice to be set with an intention that embodies connecting to the breath, to stay focused in the mind-body connection. When you feel as though the mind gets ahead of the body, pull it back to the breath. And we'll gently blink the eyes open. We'll come into a tabletop position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Crown of the head reaches forward, tail reaches back, fingers spread wide. Really get in a strong hand to earth connection. Tops of the feet press into the mat, really stabilizing the body into this tabletop position. Feel your core start to integrate here, like the outer abdominals are hugging into your midline, and you're strongly pressing the ground away from you. On an inhale, the belly drops down, the heart rises through the upper arms, the tail reaches up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we'll tuck the tail round the spine, press the ground away from you as the chin softens in towards the chest, spreading across the shoulder blades. Inhale, reverse it out. Shoulders draw down the back body, opening up the heart towards the front of the room. And then as we exhale, rounding the spine, hollowing out the front belly, pressing the ground away. And take a few more rounds like that. Just starting to awaken the spine. Build that connection of breath leading the movement. And strengthening that concentration and focus aspect. Within the next 2 to 3 breaths, we'll all meet in a child's pose, sinking the hips back towards the heels. Reaching your fingers towards the front of the mat. Be more active in this balasana, this child's pose. As you press into the palms, the elbows stay lifted. Perhaps the forehead rests down towards the ground. Maybe it touches. Maybe you need a block. If there's a big gap and you want the head to rest, you can place the head on a block. And just really feel the strength of your upper back body as you press your hands into the mat and as you feel like you're peeling your hips a little closer towards your heels. Nice long line of energy through the side waists. On your next inhale, look forward between your hands, round the spine all the way up. Draw the wrists under the shoulders, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep the knees nice and bent. This is the first down dog of class. Pedal it out, work it out. Maybe nod and shake the head yes and no. Really give yourself permission to not feel like this pose needs to be perfect the immediate second that you get into it. So really feel your way into it. Remember that Gemini is a air sign. So air is really quick moving. It's fast paced. So just move with your body. Allow it to feel that sense of fluidity. That curiosity that Gemini embodies really is allowing yourself to adapt to what you need. So we're starting to really feel into the body. What does it need? Where does it want to go? And how can you adapt the mind through the breath to get there? We'll start to find some stillness within our down dog. Hips high, outer arms hug in. Hands are strongly pressing the ground away from you to create a longer length in the spine. Biceps and ears are alongside each other, gazes between the two big toes. Your inner thighs are spiraling out, trying to create more space in your sits bones. And the outer ribs are hugging in. The chest is reaching towards the thighs. On your next inhale, look forward. We're going to come back down into that tabletop position. From here, the right leg extends back behind, toes point down, foot is lifted. Reaching the heel towards the back of the room, extending the crown towards the front of the room. Left hip stacks on top of the left knee, and we're really strong in that right leg extension. trying to gain as much length as possible. On an inhale, fill all the way up. As you exhale, send that right foot towards the left side, letting the toes touch down. So what really is happening is we're trying to get that leg as far away from the body as possible, or rather trying to get that heel as far away from the body as possible. From here, we'll cross. We have the knees crossed. So try to lower your right knee down and then maneuver your left foot away. Start to walk your hands under the shoulders. So one hand might be off the mat. It's okay. Remember, use that adaptability. Feel into this moment as the legs are crossed, the inner thighs are hugging towards each other, and then just start to find this rocking motion, sending the hips back. It's like we have these shoelace kind of leg position going on. We're just rocking into the hips, into the glutes, starting to warm up the body, the shoulders. Noticing if each time you get into this, you can get a little deeper, or perhaps it just gets a little bit more accessible to you. Take 3 more rounds. Then we'll slowly restack, shoulders over wrists. Start to walk the hands onto the mat once again. Re-extend that right leg. Readjust accordingly. And then from here, we'll step that right leg in between the hands. Foot lands, low lunge. If you need blocks, you could take blocks with you underneath your hands. Settle into this. Front knee and front ankle are stacked. We're squaring the hips, so the right hip is drawing back, left hip is pressing forward. Inhale, float the arms high. Relax the shoulders, reach through the fingers, be really active here in the arms. Right hand down, left arm reaches all the way up and over towards the right side of the room. Now, if you need extra stability, gather the outer edge of your thigh and the inner edge of your arm and palm into each other. Stay centered in the hips, strong in the breath. Good. Now release that top hand towards the outer edge of your front thigh. And take that right arm all the way up and over, stretching it towards the left corner of the room. So we're getting a big side body stretch into the right side now. We'll be here for 3. Relax the shoulder, draw your right shoulder down the back body for 2. Strong core is keeping you stable for 1. Crisscross at the arms, lift that bottom arm up and give yourself a hug, coming into a variation of eagle arms. Now, if you know you like a full eagle wrap, you can begin to bring the left fingers towards the right palm, lift the elbows up and draw the forearms away. Another option is just to bring backs of arms towards each other, or just give that hug to yourself. All 3 are beautiful options. On an inhale, open up the arms, cactus position, spread the fingers wide, big heart opener. As you exhale, release the hands down, framing that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, drop the foot 90 degrees. Come to the long left side of your mat, readjusting your right toes so the feet are parallel. Press into the outer edges of your feet. Inhale, find a halfway lift. As you exhale, fold deep into your wide-legged forward fold. We're going to move with the breath. On an inhale, find that halfway lift. As we exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, grow the spine long. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhale, grow long. Exhale, fold even deeper. Maybe this time hands come to outer edges of ankles, giving you that extra support, stabilization. Soft bend in the knees is always welcome. And then we'll release our hands down under the face. Crawl the hands back towards the front of the mat. Step that back foot forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Arms reach way up high. Strong legs, strong feet. Exhale, hands come to the heart space. Inhale, float the arms high. Left hand grabs a hold of the right wrist. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms. As you exhale, reach up and over towards the left. Now we're going to stay in this position of the upper body reaching towards the left. Welcome in some buoyancy into the knees, just so we can feel extra supple and stable. Land that left foot down as the right big toe traces all the way around the outside of that left foot, or somewhere in that vicinity. So bend into the knees, find that buoyancy, lift up through the arms, big breath in, reach over towards the left even more. Try to keep the hips level. Sometimes it feels like that left hip wants to press up, kick up. So if you need to release the arms and bring them down to the hips to kind of readjust, I know I personally need that. So allow your left hip to drop down as that right hip gets level with the left. And again, it's okay to have that bend into the knees. We'll be here for 3, for 2, for 1, and then return that right foot to meet the left. Find a little bit of balance. Float the arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step it back to a plank pose. If you need to modify, just drop the knees. Do your best to make sure your bum is not up in the air, but drop your hips towards the mat. Strong legs reach through the heels, engage through the core, pressing the mat away from you. Crown of the head is soaring towards the front. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower the knees down, child's pose, hips to heels. Extend the arms towards the front of the mat, palms pressed down, inviting the hips closer towards the heels, inviting the forehead towards the mat. This is where we reconnect with the breath. Full moons are all about release, transformation, letting go of what no longer is serving us. So as we come to this space where we can kind of just reconnect with ourselves, what are you ready to release? What are you ready to shed on the mat today? Maybe it's a thought that keeps coming up and up and up. Can you replace it with the breath? Can you let out a sigh of something that's ready to be let go? Wishing it away. Return to your intention and to stay focused with that breath and body unison, equanimity, and harmony to keep you in the present. On your next inhale, we'll round the spine all the way up. Hands under the shoulders. Left leg will grow long. Toes point down. Hips are squared. Really reaching through that heel. Flexed foot. Full breath in. As you exhale, reach that foot all the way over towards the right side. Let the toes land. We're trying to get it as far as possible. We'll start to feel that sensation of the knees kind of crisscrossed. Lower that back knee down and start to walk your hands under your shoulders once again. If you need to kind of draw your feet away from you to create more space, then allow that to occur. Take any little readjustments that you need, and then we're just going to start to pulse when we feel our legs in that shoelace position. So we're getting that big stretch in the outer right glute and hips. Using our hands as a leverage. So our hands are nice and strong, stable in the ground, holding us up. And then giving us that permission to decide like what our limit is. If our limit is right here, our limit is right here. That's fine. If the hips can get a little deeper, that's totally fine. Go where you feel best today, where you do feel something, but it's not like too much and just enough. We'll take 3 more rounds. Honoring our mobility today for what it is. It's slowly coming up. Walking the hands back towards the center of the mat, letting that left leg readjust, taking our time getting there. And then from here, we'll step that left foot in between the hands. Help it there if you need. Take any props with you that you'd like, and just get firm in that knee over ankle connection, hips squared, so the left hip draws back, the right hip presses forward. Relax the shoulders, float the arms high. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, drop that left hand down, reach the right arm all the way up and over towards the left side of the room. So nice side body stretch. Again, you can bring hand and thigh into connection just to kind of push into each other for more stability. And then we'll slowly release that top hand to the outer edge of the thigh. Your left hand will reach towards the back of the room, and then all the way up and over, crisscrossing at the elbows. Find your eagle arm variation. Remember, a simple hug is enough. Backs of hands can reach towards each other, or the right fingers to the left palm. Lift up through the elbows, and then draw the forearms away. Gaze out in front of you. Sometimes there's like a little tiny space of light between your wrist and your arm. So gaze through that if you see it. Get really strong, piercing your eyes like eagle. And then inhale, unwrap, unwind into cactus position. As you exhale, plant the hands down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, find your way to the long right side of the mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Readjusting the feet to be parallel, pressing into the outer edges of the feet, lifting the inner arches to really strengthen the lower legs. And then we'll move with the breath. On an inhale, find a halfway lift. The hips are moving back as the crown of the head reaches forward. As you exhale, you'll fold a little deeper. 3 more. Really utilizing the breath to power you through. It's almost like the breath is that communication with the self. We'll rest in a fold. Maybe hands can come back to the ankles, or this time if you'd like a different arm position, you can walk the hands through the legs. Maybe even widening the legs. Again, you can always have that micro bend in the knees if you need to. And then return the hands under the face. Find that halfway lift. Readjust your way back towards the front of the mat. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Arms reach way up high. Right hand grabs a hold of the left wrist this time. Lengthen through the body. And then as you exhale, we'll reach up and over towards the right side. So getting that big side body stretch, breathing into the left ribs. Find that bend into the knees, that buoyancy. And then really land into the right foot, get light into the left, draw the big toe all the way around towards the right side of the foot. So we're coming back to that crisscross leg position. Now, if you want to eliminate the upper arms, you can just bring your hands to the hips so we don't put too much like weight into one hip versus the other. Adjusting your feet if you need, maybe bringing them closer towards each other for more stability. Squeezing your inner thighs. And then if you'd like, you can reach the arms up and over towards the right side. Just be sure we're not dumping all the weight into that right hip, but we're leveling out the hips. Strong core. And then inhale, come back through center. Hands can come on hips. Step that left foot forward. Both feet face the front of the mat. Inhale, float the arms high. As you exhale, fold, lead with the heart. In this fold, walk the feet closer towards each other, big toes touch. This is going to be our last kind of power pose. Let the heels be a little further apart from each other. Bend into the knees, hug everything into midline, and then start to float your arms up into chair pose, Utkatasana or fierce pose. The tail slightly tucks under you, the lower abdominals hug in, biceps alongside ears. We're rooting down through the heels, lifting up through the toes, the weight's in the back of the feet. We're hugging everything to that midline. It's like zippering up, or I like to think about it like we're kind of like being sewn together, stitched up through that midline. Keep reaching up through the sternum, down through your tail. You're so strong. The body might be shaking, but you've got this for 3, for 2, for 1. Fold and let the hands come down to the ground. Find your way to a seat. As we come down to the seat, you can cross the legs if that feels most comfortable, or extend them out long. So staff pose or sukhasana, your choice. So I'm choosing staff pose, reaching up through the crown of the head. Hands can be down by your side or on your lap, whatever feels most comfortable. You can even invite yourself back to that Gyan Mudra, tips of the thumbs and the index fingers coming together, palms facing up. Returning back to that concentrated space as we start to kind of tone down the energy back to the ground from our standing sequence. Just observing the breath, finding the equanimity within it. And then we'll begin to release that mudra if we came to it. If you were in that sukhasana or easy seat, begin to extend the legs out long. We'll bend into the right leg, the right knee. You can help it. And then we'll lift that foot up and over. So crossing it over the left. Now, I'm going to give you the option to stay here, especially if you are tighter in the hips, or lean to the left just to bend to that bottom knee and send that bottom foot towards the right hip. So you kind of come to that pretzel-y or crisscross kind of shape once again. And it's okay if your feet are a little further away from your body or need to be closer, or you need to adjust some extra flesh out from you. Just do your best to keep an upright spine. And then let the right fingers come back behind. Inhale, find length. And then as you exhale, we'll gaze over that right shoulder. Coming into the seated twist. Bottom leg can be bent or extended. The full moon, again, is just this time of release, this time of letting go, where things can be brought to the light. So as they're brought to the light, they can be shed. We can find this new energy, this new space. So I love to think of twists being a really powerful posture within the midst of a full moon. So really just embodying that sense of, what do I want to let go of? What am I shedding? This is a full moon this is the last full moon of the year. So a full moon towards the end of the year always is nice, because it's like asking you that communication with yourself of, okay, what am I ready to truly let go of this year? So I can step into the new year with this new sense of intention and purpose. Take 2 more breaths here. Finding the inhales, bringing length and space into the spine, allowing the exhales to deepen you into the twist. Good. And then come back through center. That bottom leg was bent. Begin to re-straighten it. We'll uncross the right foot. Just keep it landed on the ground for a moment. Lift up through the heart. And then root down through your seat. Relax through the shoulders. Open that right leg out to the side. So we come to a half butterfly position. Float the arms high, big breath in. As we exhale, we'll fold over that extended left leg. Hands come to the outer edges of the leg. If it's accessible to reach the foot, you can always reach the foot. Otherwise, you can let your hands come any distance from the foot to the body. Just breathing into the back body or down into the low back. Full breaths. Feeling that openness in the right hip. And then slowly rising up and out. Help that right knee back through center and the leg to extend long once again. Readjust yourself. Feel your sits bones root down. Bend into that left knee. Help that foot up and over towards the right side. You can stay right here if this is enough already in that left glute. If it's not enough and you want to get a little deeper, bend into that right knee. Bring that foot towards the glute, crossing the bottom leg. Inner right elbow wraps around the front knee, starting to rotate the body towards the left. Left fingers come down, find a length through the spine, openness through the heart. And then as you exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Find the fullness in your breath. Find those opportunities to release. And on your next inhale, we'll come back through center. Straighten that bottom leg if it was bent. Help that left leg up and over, landing the foot on the ground just for a moment. Find that tall spine. Your right leg is long. And then begin to open up that left knee towards the floor. So half butterfly on the opposite side. Inhale, float the arms high. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart, find your fold. Now on your inhale, slowly rise up, nice and gently stacking the spine, helping that left knee back through center and extending your legs long. We'll begin to journey our way onto our backs, taking any props that we like with us as we journey toward Shavasana. But first, give yourself a hug of the knees into the chest, a rock and a sway side to side. Any last minute poses that you want to get in, maybe a happy baby or just maybe extending the legs up towards the sky. Welcome them in and then settle yourself into a space of stillness. And one last invitation to come to that Gyan Mudra where the pointer fingers and your thumbs touch at the tips. The 3 other fingers release out, palms face upwards. Just offering this last bit of time on the mat to really foster in clarity, to get really heavy in the body but light in the mind, and to just find this sense of release so we can welcome in this space for renewal. Allow the eyes to soften shut if you haven't done so already, and if that feels safe in your body, begin to journey down into the center of the heart, where that beautiful light of yours shines and radiates out what it feels in this here and now moment. As always, trust yourself, trust the process, trust the journey. The more you show up for you, the more you can hold space for yourself with open arms, no matter what you are going through. Full moons can bring up a lot of staticky energy. It can bring in heightened emotions, anxiousness, but when we know how to use the tools to approach those emotions and those feelings with more acceptance, we can begin to really tend our practice to be more of a lesson learned than just something that we feel like is coming at us to experience. Begin to deepen your breath. Finding fullness in your inhales and release of depth from your exhales. Begin to wiggle through your toes. Maybe take your thumbs to touch each tip of fingers. So middle fingers, ring fingers, pinky fingers. Just slowly starting to awaken the body with gentle movement, circling through ankles and wrists, letting the head drop from side to side. And gentle bend in the elbows. Extend the arms back behind. Take a full body stretch. Reach through fingers, reach through toes. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. Rock side to side. Massage the low back. Eventually landing on either side in a fetal position. Use the bottom arm to support the head as a pillow. Just rest here for one more moment to connect to your intention. That intention that allows us to focus on our breath, to really ground us into the here and now. Knowing that you can always take these tools that we've practiced today on the mat with you off the mat as well. Using the strength of your hands to press yourself up to an easy seated position. And as you find this way into your seated position, take a moment, roll the shoulders up, back and down, lift up through the heart. Anjali Mudra, palms touch in front of the heart space. Gently bow the head down to the heart, honoring that bridge of mind and body connection. The light within me recognizes and respects the light within you. It is within this light that we are connected, journeying home together. Thumbs to your third eye, forehead center, to honor our highest, truest, most authentic, and best self within ourselves and within each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for making it to your mat today and taking this time to really practice this energy for Gemini's full moon. If you are really interested in learning more about the zodiac and how to rebalance your energy with the zodiac practices, again, I will drop in the comments below my course, Astrological Alignment. It'll take you through all 12 zodiac signs and give you different tools that you can really bring into your daily life. It doesn't have to be on the actual yoga mat. There's meditations that are bite-sized. You can do them in your car while you're waiting for someone or you're waiting to go somewhere, or when you wake up, go to bed, that kind of stuff. So feel free to add any comments in the comment section below, like this video, share it with anyone who you think would enjoy it, and continue to follow along on the healing home journey as I continue to share more videos with you. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day.